Angry Birds and Candy Crush have some of the best crafted stories on mobile. Well, enough joking around. Hi Warriors, I'm Ben, and today we're gonna talk about some of the best story-based games on Android. Number 10 is Broken Age, a hand-animated puzzle adventure game with an all-star cast such as Elijah Wood or one of my favorites, Jack Black. It was funded by a record-breaking crowdfunding campaign and designed by industry legend Tim Schafer, who designed games like Brutal Legend, Psychonauts, and co-designed The Secret of Monkey Island. Broken Age puts you in the shoes of Vela and Shay, two teenagers facing the challenges of coming of age. You can freely switch between the two and expect a charming art style and clever writing up ahead. Number 9 is 1979 Revolution Black Friday, which sheds light on what it means to bleed and suffer for freedom in one's home country. Created by people who may never be able to go back to Iran because they dared to create a document from the country's history. The game opens in 1980 with lead character Reza developing pictures of protests taken in the streets of his homeland. The majority of the game happens in flashbacks, showing Reza getting pulled into a multi-faction insurgency movement after coming back home from his studies in Germany. The late 1970s saw Iran boil over with near-universal dissatisfaction with Shah Reza Pahlavi, the monarch backed by America and other Western powers. As 1979 revolution goes on, Reza finds himself in the idealism, suspicion, and heartbreak of an underground political protest movement, and I personally find it great when games not only entertain us, but educate us as well. Number 8 is Brothers Tale of Two Sons, in which you'll be guiding two brothers on an epic fairy tale journey from visionary Swedish film director Joseph Fares and Starbreeze Studios. But what's really unique about this game is that you control both brothers at once. In other words, you'll be experiencing co-op play in single-player mode. Genius? Absolutely. Number 7 is Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy. We did a giveaway back last year when this game was released on Android, and it is a cinematic, interactive drama action-adventure game developed by Quantic Dream and was originally released on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox and remastered for mobile devices, PC, and also the PS4. Fahrenheit is, at its heart, a crime mystery story, combining psychological drama and an action-packed plot. I don't want to spoil any of the story for those of you who haven't played it yet, but just to give you a taste of what to expect, the game starts with you being put in the shoes of one of the main characters as he stabs a man to death in a dirty diner bathroom. And then it's up to you to choose your next step. Do you run out of the restroom covered in blood like I did? Do you hide the body, mop the floor, and maybe wash your hands before making an exit? Or do you linger too long and get discovered by the off-duty police officer who's having a cup of coffee after his shift? No choice is obvious, and get this, you will also get to play as the police detectives tasked with taking him, well, you, down. Number 6 is Valiant Hearts The Great War, which is based in the tragic history of World War I and inspired by letters written by soldiers during that time. You switch between 4 characters on the battlefield in this tale about finding love, survival, sacrifice, and friendship. Valiant Hearts is the story of crossed destinies and a broken love in a world torn apart by war. 4 heroes try to rise above the tragedies strewn across Europe and band together with their trusty companion dog, Walt, in search of their loved ones. Highly recommended for those who are into great tales with a romance twist. Number 5 is The Wolf Among Us, and it's a spin-off of the Fables comic book series. You play as Big Bad Wolf, the sheriff of Fable Town, and the story takes place around the murder that you're investigating. There are plenty of characters from the Fables that you'll encounter, like Snow White, and I absolutely love the art style of the game. And the game has this film noir atmosphere that makes it really stand out. Number 4 is Republique, which takes place in a totalitarian state, and don't ask me which one, they didn't mention and I don't want to know. You communicate with Hope, the main character, through her phone or computer, and you need to help her escape by controlling surveillance cameras to monitor Hope's actions, as well as hack into many electronic devices. Republic combines elements of stealth action with survival horror in a masterpiece made natively for mobile devices. Number 3 is Tales from the Borderlands, which saw light of day in late 2014. The story takes place primarily on the planet Pandora and revolves around a group of people that fate brought together in a race against other bandits, and what I would call one of the best treasure hunting tales. You get to switch between two main characters, Reese and Fiona, and it's an awesome story spread over 5 episodes full of twists, hilarious moments, and this would not be a Telltale game if they didn't at least try to make you drop a tear or two. Number 2 is The Walking Dead, and it was the first Telltale game I got to play, and man, is it a ride. If you're not familiar with the franchise, The Walking Dead by Telltale is inspired by the comic book series by Robert Kirkman. The game is currently on its 3rd season, but in season 1 you play as Lee Everett, a professor and a convicted murderer who was about to serve a life sentence when the zombie apocalypse settled in. You meet a little girl named Clementine and you need to keep her safe. And I believe that this detail in the plot is a strike of genius, because think about it. If you were to be in a zombie apocalypse and come across a child, the natural instinct will be to protect him or her, unless you're this guy. I don't want to spoil the story for those of you who haven't played it yet, but hey, do yourself a favor and get it. It's put in simple words, epic. This game is just epic. And before we check out number 1, let's take a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1 is Never Alone. When I finished Never Alone, I felt I had just taken part of an amazing journey along Nuna and Fox as they search for the source of an eternal blizzard that threatens the survival of everything they have ever known. And on top of that, I got to learn so much about the indigenous Alaskan tribes, and the game does so in such an enchanting way. Never Alone is an atmospheric puzzle platformer told as an oral tale. And unlike traditional platformer games, which involve overcoming obstacles, killing enemies, accumulating coins, etc., Never Alone rewards players with collectible cultural insights, video vignettes of Inupiaq elders, storytellers, and community members sharing their stories. This is an absolute must-play, and it's a masterpiece of storytelling through our favorite medium, which is gaming. And these were the top 10 best story-based games on Android. Have you played any of these? If so, which were some of your favorites? Let us know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Also, we release 4 new videos like this every week, and the best way to see them is with a subscription. Once again, I'm Ben. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Android Gamespot.